Welcome back to the Naperville Moms Network. And now we're talking about mom breaks. As we just discussed, being a mom is way more than a full-time job. Finding ways to decompress, fill your cup, and take a break is a necessity. What do you think, girls? How do you find ways to take your breaks?
Well, you said fill your cup, and I'm thinking about the coffee cup or the lunch that sits in the microwave for 4 hours. It's not easy. It's not easy, especially with little ones. They demand so much of your physical attention, right? I need to be there to wipe his butt. I need to be there, and nothing's sacred. I can't take a shower without someone calling for me, or even, use the washroom. So it's tough. I think. For me, it's that time after they go to bed. Yeah. And I think that's why so many moms stay up later than we should. Mm-hmm. And we're so tired. My husband will say, just go to bed. You had such a long day. Go to bed when they do. Yes, but if I do, that means I wake up and it's the roller coaster all over again. And that is my time to read a book or watch The Bachelor, let's be honest, and visit with my husband and make a phone call or do what I need to do. Working out also, I will carve out time to do that, even if it's 30 minutes at home. And I think it's a good example, too, for the kids. And I would say that, really, for me time. I do get out, and that's sort of a we time, right, with friends. But as far as being by myself, not often by myself.
It doesn't really even change, like having kids that are in college and high school. I feel like I have more opportunity to have time just by myself. But now you are traveling to go see your kids in college. Like the weekends do not seem to be as free as I kind of thought they were going to be. I kind of thought that was and because you spend so much time not having me time, there are like a Wednesday night where you're sitting by yourself and you think, well, now what do I do? Other than watch highbrow things like The Bachelor or the women of the Bravo Women of New York or whatever they are. But you think that you don't even know what to do with that time. Like, what am I supposed to do with it? Because I spent so many years feeling guilty for that time. And now that I actually could probably have it easier than like you, Erika, with small children, now what do I do? And I wish I would have done it more when they were younger, so that it wouldn't, I would have like something going on now and not trying to figure it out now. Right. If that makes any sense. Yeah.
For me, it was a little different because I worked and had kids much later in life. So I kind of felt like I had a lot of time to myself and doing the things I wanted to do, travel with my husband. So when I had kids, it just became full-time in the sense that if I wasn't working, I wanted to spend every minute with them. So I probably was more guilty of never really carving out me time. Or to your point, when they're younger, what that me time is very different than as your kids get older. Like to your point, you're just happy just being able to watch a TV show, just having time to yourself, And as you get older, you have a lot of me time when you're transporting your kids to a sport event and you have to sit with them for the day there. So I think it takes a different role, but to your point, as the kids get older, maybe that me time needs to be more focusing on just yourself. At some point, the kids are gonna grow up and move out of the house. So you really need to make sure you don't lose your own identity. Do the things you might like or can see yourself beyond the phase of when your kids are at home.
I think that's a great point, Saritha. I know that I love being an example to my teenage sons as to what a woman may need to take care of herself, not just as a mom, right? That there's a separation between, yes, I am your mom, but I'm also a person and a woman and an entrepreneur and a volunteer. And there's so many roles I play outside of just being a mom. And sometimes I feel like we can get a little too uber focused on that mom role. And I'm also a divorced mom. And we got divorced when the kids were 3 and 4. And I mean, you don't go and get married hoping to get divorced, but one of the benefits, there's lots of drawbacks to it, obviously, but one of the benefits is it really carves out some time that I have to just myself. And I've had friends say, do I have to get divorced to get your schedule? I'm like, yeah, I think so. But I think it's allowed me to compartmentalize things. So when I have my kids, I try to be very present and focused on them. And I know that the next night I might not have them, or the next morning I'm not going to be making lunches and making breakfasts for them. So when people in the community come up to me and say, oh my goodness, how do you do everything you do? I say, I am divorced. I only have my kids with me 50% of the time. And someone last night actually said to me, yeah, but that means that the other 50% of the time, it's you 100% of the time. I'm like, oh, that's a good point. But I think it's also important to be intentional about carving that time, whatever that means to you. If it's taking a nap, like we said, or going to get a massage, or going to work out, or meeting a friend for lunch. And if I have a really busy schedule for a week or a couple of weeks, I just open up my calendar, I look at a day that I either don't have to work or don't have anything planned, and I put a big no with 5 exclamation points. Not 4, not 3, 5. Like I'm emphatically saying no, right? And so when someone calls me up and says, hey, can you do this? I look, I go, I am so sorry, I'm actually booked that day. And I am, with me. And maybe a cup of coffee.
Lovely.
That's the intentionality. We talk a lot as parents and even as entrepreneurs, we talk a lot about being intentional about your kids or being intentional about your business or we have to be intentional with ourselves and not feel bad about that. And whatever we need to fill our cup or to feel more energized, whether it is a nap or it's reading a book or it's running or whatever that is, that's fine. Like it doesn't have to be, there should be no guilt between the person that's exercising all the time as their me time and the person that just needs a 25-minute nap every day. That's okay. Both of those, there isn't a definition of what a good me time is. And I think that we have to remember that as moms, that we're all different when it comes to being intentional about ourselves.
Sure. We're all different people. And for me, I really enjoy my time with girlfriends, and my husband and I are very different in that if we have a free Saturday, he is so excited and let's just stay home. And I'm thinking, who can we invite over? And
he's like, no.
Yeah. So he's very good at keeping my no. But I enjoy, people. And maybe that's because I'm with children under 3 feet, during the day. So I enjoy adult conversation, and it's so nice to have that. So, but you're right, everybody is different. For one, it's not the same as the next.
Sarita, what do you love to do?
I love to read a book or watch a TV show. I think I fill my schedule too much, and it's a lot of juggling act. So one of the priorities or goals I have for this year is really assessing everything that takes my time and prioritizing what's really important. And doing that, I think you're more present in the moment with whatever you're doing instead of constantly thinking of everything else you have to do. So chasing slow is going to be my goal
good.
for
I like that.
this year.
I know the art of saying no has become easier as I've gotten older and a little bit wiser. I feel like when I was younger, people say, oh, could you do this? Oh, could you come and help with this? Oh, could you be here? Can we do lunch? And sometimes I really have to look at my calendar and say, is that something I truly want to do? Because at this phase of my life, and life is short, there's no guarantees. I want to be right here, right now. This is really exciting to me. But there's some things that I get asked to do that it just doesn't fit within my mission for my life and where I feel like my passions and my strengths lay. And so I really think that learning to say no in a polite way and saying, I am so sorry, I'm a little overbooked right now. Could you reach back out to me in a few months? Or, I actually focus more on mom-related items for our charitable giving. And, there's so many wonderful opportunities for other organizations to do what they love. But I try to funnel all of our giving into mom-focused things due to Naples Moms Network. So I try to come up with ways that are kind, but also saying no. And sometimes I try not to apologize so much.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm always saying sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Right? Why am I sorry? I don't need to be so sorry about everything.
And when you say no, that gives somebody else the opportunity to say yes.
Yeah.
So by you saying no to something and taking time for yourself because it's not really in your alignment with your goals,
alignment,
then
that's a good word.
somebody else gets to say yes. Somebody else gets to step into something that this does work better for them. This is what they're trying to do. And I think that I always, when I get, because I am the worst at saying no. Like I'm sitting here acting like I'm some big expert. But I really always try to think me saying no means somebody else gets the opportunity to do this amazing thing that's perfect for them.
Sure. Flip the thought process a little bit.
I am psychoanalyzing myself in my head. Awesome.
So, Erika, are you good at saying no?
No. No, I love what you said about carving out time for yourself and life being short. You need to decide, where do I want to allocate my time? For me, it's always going to be family first. Our family's pretty local. I get to spend time with my parents, my grandma, and my children and my husband. And then will come the family or the friends. And then you say yes to other opportunities, but you have to pick and choose, right?
Yeah.
What you want to spend your time doing. And as you said, I'm thrilled to be here. It was so exciting to get the opportunity to, well, let's be honest, leave the house and converse with other adults. But this is an opportunity that you say yes to. Not all of them. That's okay.
Yep.
And you mentioned, Eric, I think at the very beginning about the role, what our kids see us do. And I think we are in a society where kids are as scheduled as we are.
Sure.
And it's nice to be able to have them see that we do find ourselves important enough to say no to things and to be intentional about what we say yes to.
Sure.
I think that's a life lesson for them down the road.
Well, and we're really teaching them how to take care of themselves through taking care of ourselves.
Right.
And sometimes it's easier to take care of ourselves when we know there's something else other than us.
Oh, yeah.
So
You're always going to be the lowest priority in everything that's happening. But if you don't take the me time to rejuvenate yourself, you are no good to anyone else either. You're burnt out, you're tired. So I think it's really important that we fuel ourselves to be able to, help our family, our kids, and be really more present.
All right, we're taking it back now. We're taking back our me time. So we hope that you carve out time for your breaks and are finding the right balance for you and your family. Thank you, Erika, Saritha, and Patti, for joining me today, and to all of you for tuning in. We look forward to connecting with you again next month on the Naperville Moms Network. And remember, you are always invited. Thank you.